Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be telling you guys which new facility is the best for you to own in Grand Theft Auto Online. So the facilities were added today as a part of the Doomsday Heist DLC, and there's 9 of them scattered throughout Los Santos. Now, the majority of them are up in like the Sandy Shores, Blaine County, Palito Bay area, but there's a ton of discrepancies in their price and their location too. So let's jump into, first of all, the locations and the prices. We're going to start from south and move our way north. So this is the first one right here. It's the Land Act Reservoir. Now, this is the most expensive one, probably due to its proximity to Los Santos, and it's $2,950,000. Now, I don't like this because it's really hard to get to. It's right next to, obviously, a dam, and the only roads are like small dirt off roads, and I don't really like it. So that's the first one. The next one is the Ron Alternates Wind Farm Facility at $1.855 million. This one's located right next to a major highway, but the wind farms can be very tricky for your aircrafts. So because of that, I would not recommend that you end up purchasing that one. The wind turbines can really screw you up there. The next one is the Route 68 one. I think this is an overall pretty nice one. It's kind of located towards a main road, as you can see right there, and it's $2,312,000. So it's not crazy expensive, not bad either. This is the one that I own. Now, I'm sorry you can't see the price. It's $2,550,000. This is the Grand Sonora Desert one. I like this one for a couple reasons. It's close to a main road that can get me straight to the highway, and there's literally nothing around me, and there's an airfield. So my helicopters and my aircrafts have no problem at all landing and such, so that's a really good spot. Up next, you've got the Zancudo River one, which is kind of near Stab City. I don't really like this one. It's $2,100,000 because it's right next to the river and the Alamo Sea. Again, pretty dangerous for your cars and your aircrafts and whatnot. So that's that one. Price isn't bad, but I don't like the location. After that, we have the Lago Zancudo facility, and this one is pretty cheap, but there's a reason for that. Its location, not all that great. It's literally in the swamp of Fort Zancudo. Now, it's great if you have a hangar at Fort Zancudo, but you're still in the swamp, so it's kind of tough for your vehicles. So for that reason, I would not recommend that. Moving on, we've only got 3 more to look at, and these are kind of our cheaper options here. You have the Sandy Shores facility. I say cheaper, but this one's quite expensive. This is also a really good one. I'm a fan of this one. It's pretty far away. It's pretty pricey, $2.74 million, but you can see right next to the highway, no water in sight, no objects to mess you up, and great areas for your land vehicles and aircraft. So that's perfect right there. I think that's a really good one. This next one I'm not a huge fan of because it's literally in the middle of nowhere, the Mount Gordo facility. But if you're strapped for cash, this is one of the cheaper options you can ultimately go for, $1.465 million. And the final one is up in Palito Bay, which Rockstar would expect to be the cheapest, $1.25 million. Its location and where it's located is just not all that great. So my 2 favorite ones are ironically kind of side by side. It's the Grand Sonora Desert one and the Sandy Shores one. Yes, they're on the more expensive side, but I feel like you get more benefits for your location, your access to things, and the fact that you won't be driving on back roads or having to deal with obstacles to ultimately save your vehicles. So now let's take a look at the style for each facility. So there's 9 of them. You have utility, you have expertise, and these get more expensive the farther you go. You have altitude, you have influence, you have authority, then you have power, which is this red one. You have order, which is kind of a greener one. Empire, which is kind of a bronze. And then you have supremacy, which is like a light goldish tan. So those are all the graphics right there. Again, those don't do anything other than simple cosmetic changes to the facility. After that, you have graphics, and this is what's going to appear on some of your walls. Now, I'm not even going to try and describe the different shapes that are going on here. Some of them are a little bit more random. Some of them are a little bit more aesthetically pleasing or OCD pleasing, like that one you could say. Some of them are a little bit more geometric. Those also go up in price, but they're honestly not all that expensive. The first one is free, and it's $77,000 to about $175,000, so not all that bad right there. The next thing you can do is apply an Orbital Cannon. Now, we're going to take a look at this a little bit later, but that is $900,000. So that's one of the big upgrades that you can do inside of your facility. $900,000 for this beast. We'll show you what it does a little bit later. After that, you've got the security room, which gives you access to a couple of features, including exclusive strike team services, and also you get a gun locker as well. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. You've also got the lounge, which comes in a couple of different varieties: utility, prestige, and premier. We're going to be taking a look at all three of those a little bit later. And then you have the sleeping quarters, which again is utility, prestige, and premier. We'll take a look at all three of those a little bit later. All right, so I'm going to be giving you guys a tour of my facility and what your facility will eventually look like right now. But I wanted to show you guys how it works. Very similar to the gun running bunkers. You just run up to the front just like this. And you can do this with a vehicle or an aircraft or really anything. And you'll have the option to take that inside as well if it's applicable. And you'll go to this cutscene right here where your character will go up to some little keypad, push a button, and then it'll send you straight down into the depths of the Los Santos Earth, where you'll be able to get access to your vehicles and a whole lot more. So this is the main room right here. Now mine is full of vehicles, as I'm sure yours will as well. So on the main floor, you're going to have your Avenger right here. This is where the Avenger is going to go for every single person. And then what you've got down here is sort of a vehicle workshop. So this is pretty awesome as well. You can enter the Avenger, thruster, or any large weaponized vehicle, and you can get access to the facility workshop. So over here, what you can do is actually change them. So there's only 7 spots that you can modify things in here. So I have the Raiden, the SC1, the Pariah, Comet, Deluxo, Stromberg, Barrage, and those are my ones. And then some of the other ones that have to fit in here are given spots. So you can see how it skips over them. That's because that tank, that's the only place it can go in. So we've got a couple of other vehicles that are stored in here as well. What's kind of cool is your crew emblem actually goes on the wall in various spots like this. So I thought that that was pretty awesome. You'll actually see that throughout this video. This area over here is really kind of worthless. It's like a locker room that serves absolutely no purpose. So not really any need to do that. And then anytime you see a door with a red light on top of it, you actually can't go through those. So you see how that one opened right there? I could go through that if I wanted to, but we've actually got a second floor of this place to check out. And on the second floor is where you're going to find your vehicles and some of your rare items like the jetpack right here. I've got some of those bigger vehicles like the police riot over here that can only be stored. So that's what you're going to see on this first room when you enter. Now, moving into the second room, you can see all the doors are automatic, which is pretty nice. You're going to be met with this like security thing, like what you'd see at the airport. It doesn't matter at all. You can just go straight through it. You've kind of got like a guy doing the security checks right there. Same thing with this guy right here. He's just chilling. There's also a minigun too. And then you'll meet your receptionist. Now, your receptionist can give you 2 things: Pegasus vehicles and snacks. So that's kind of awesome. There's 2 receptionists. They do the exact same thing. I told you guys you'd see my crew emblem a lot over here. Now, the first door of interest right here is actually the personal quarters, the sleeping quarters. Now, once again, this is the premiere. So what I'm going to do at the end is I'm going to show you guys the other 2 options for both the lounge and this one. But this is your bedroom. You can obviously sleep if you want. You can change your clothing. Not a whole lot going on in here. The biggest thing this gives you is access to a spawn location. Again, a lot more doors that seem to be completely blocked off. You don't have access to them. This room right here is for the Orbital Cannon. So watch what I can actually do right here. I'm probably going to make some players angry in this lobby. But if you paid the $900,000, you can actually access this. And this is what it'll send you to. It'll send you to this screen right here, which gives you the option for surveillance, manual targeting, or automatic targeting. Manual targeting is $500,000. Automatic targeting is $750,000. Are you kidding me? Very, very expensive. Let's try manual targeting. I want to see how this actually works. So it's pretty slow, and you can see it's active right there. The green arrows actually give us like an indication as to where someone is. So I'm actually going to fast forward this a little bit, and hopefully we can find someone. All right, there we go. We found someone. So I'm going to hit fire, and we're going to see what happens here. I've never done the manual one, but I just obliterated Captain Stoner with the Orbital Cannon. I'm sorry, Captain Stoner. I didn't mean to, but I really wanted to test this feature. So that's it right there. And then you can't do it for another 48 minutes. So that's pretty interesting as well, that Rockstar put pretty much a 1-day in-game timer in order to use this again. So that right there is the Orbital Cannon. I told you it's pretty insane, but it's also pretty pricey as well if you want to fully get involved. And then there's really one more major room, and that is the heist area. So I have not started any of the heists, but you can see it's just like the apartments, just a little bit more complex. You walk in and then you'll ultimately start the heist mission from there. Now, the last big major room that's of importance is over here, and that is going to be the lounge. So the lounge has a bunch of various things you can do in here. You can turn on the television, you can activate the radio. There's even a computer in here that unfortunately you can't even use, and also doesn't have a chair. So I guess you're just supposed to stand at that and activate it like normal. And then there's kind of a downstairs area to it as well, which is kind of cool. So here's the downstairs area. Now, most of this is actually like unused. So for example, really the only thing you can do is get a snack or get something from the vending machine. In fact, you can't even get anything from the vending machine. You can only get something from the E-Cola machine. So again, there's a lot of like gimmicky things in here. The rest of this place is completely unused. Now, I have not done any of the heist missions just yet. I'm waiting to do them on a live stream later. So maybe this entire area will become a little bit more useful. But for right now, it's just a bunch of triple monitor computer desks and turned off TVs. Now, you will over here see some like servers. Like I said, this is why I think it might be used a little bit later. I would assume so. And oftentimes you'll see scientists kind of like rummaging around. Like there's one right there. Like they oftentimes just like look at clipboards at these big servers. So that's kind of what you'll see on this floor as well. Luckily, Rockstar made a lot of staircases so you can get like out and about here. And then on these walkways as well, those are all locked doors. Like you can't get into them. So even this one right here, it says fire door. You can't get inside. So a little bit tricky in terms of navigation, but ultimately there's like 4 or 5 main rooms that you need to be aware about here. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is show you guys the other 2 variations that you can do. So now we're going to go with Prestige for both the lounge and the sleeping quarters, and we're going to see if you guys can tell the difference. So that renovation for me is going to be $420,500. It takes us to this screen right here. And then we have sort of the upgrade. So let's start over here in the bedroom and let's see if we can tell the difference. A little bit more traditional, I would say. Obviously, there's no more triple paintings on the wall. There's only one. This one's not bad either. This one's kind of a nice modern style to it. I really like the sort of design. This one feels a lot more warm than the other one does. So I certainly like this. That is the second tier bedroom right there. Again, all the same features. Nothing is going to be changed. Now let's go ahead and make our way to the lounge sort of area. And you can see it retains sort of the same style. I really like that artwork right there. That's actually kind of cool. You can see how the desk is a little bit different. You know, there's going to be different furniture and whatnot. You're going to be able to do relatively all the same things. There's just going to be a little bit of a different design feel to it. And then let's go down here on the first floor and see if there's anything different going on there. I don't think there's any changes that are made here. I think it's only to the top 2 floors. So that's the second one. Let's go ahead and move on to the third one, which again is utility. All right, so let's upgrade to utility. And this one looks like it's the most bare bones one. So you really get the biggest bump going from prestige to utility. Premier and prestige, it's really all just your personal preference at that point. But utility is really bare bones. So let's actually check that out right now. Again, it's going to take us to this black screen right here. And when we get on the other side, it'll have the upgraded facilities for us. So let's go over here and let's check this out. I think this is going to be more like a prison cell than anything. Yeah, pretty much 2 wooden chairs, a little cot bed. This is definitely for the minimalist here. So definitely not a whole lot going on there. I love how you have this multi-million-dollar facility and then that's the bedroom you end up choosing. And then here's our lounge right here, which is incredibly bare bones. We don't even get a TV or a radio station anymore. We get the same computer, but no TV. Very, very minimalistic right here. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm clicking privacy glass and I don't seem to be getting like the dark shades that I think it shows in here. So let me do this really quickly. Do you guys see this? How come ours doesn't look like that? And then there's no way to get rid of it either. So I'm not sure if I've done this wrong or if that's a glitch or anything like that, but that right there is your full tour of the new facilities and ultimately which one I think is the best in Grand Theft Auto Online. Let me know which one you ended up purchasing in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. We like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care. And I'll see you guys in the next video.